Hey guys, Lorena Magani here with New Filmmakers Los Angeles. Today, I'm talking to director Dehanza Rodgers about her new film, Sweet Sweet Country. Let's take a look at a clip from the film.
I knew you missed me.
I ain't got room to miss nobody else, man.
You miss him.
Yeah?
You want to talk on it?
I keep thinking about when I was small.
Day, why don't you give our viewers a brief synopsis of your film, Sweet Sweet Country?
Well, the film is about a young woman who lives in the South. She's 20 years old, and she's taking care of herself and her family, who still lives in a refugee camp in Kenya.
How did you come up with the idea behind this film?
Well, it's based off of interviews I did with immigrants and refugee women about when they first came to this country, a lot of them on their own, as well as some of my own family mythology and family history. Like, who doesn't want to say they don't have, a family mythology? So.
Were there any challenges that you faced when you were shooting?
So I grew up in Columbus, Fort Benning area, and then I eventually went to Atlanta for undergrad, and I knew I wanted to be a Southern filmmaker. Like, I know there are Southern stories that aren't being told, and there are new Southern stories that are based in immigration and refugees, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. So it's my second year film at UCLA, and I knew that my department heads were gonna come from UCLA, because these are the people that I've been with for about 2-3 years, and you have this trust as artists because you're coming up together and you're struggling together. And so I'm flying people from LA to Atlanta, and then I have to put them up. And the challenge really was, connecting with the right people in Atlanta, because I wanted to cast there. I really wanted to use Atlanta actors, and I wanted to have as much Atlanta crew as possible, because I didn't want it to just be an LA production coming to Atlanta. So that was a challenge, because I was supposed to shoot in March, and I kind of connected with the wrong people. I connected thinking they were gonna help me be able to cast and produce, and that's not what happened. And I had to literally call people the day before they were supposed to hop on a plane and say, we're not shooting. And it was heartbreaking. It was the worst thing ever, but my gaffer was the first person who said, this is good, you're pushing, and there's nothing wrong with pushing, you're gonna make a better film, don't stress about this. And you have the right people around you, it's gonna be a good experience.
Why did you choose to make the characters from Kenya?
Kenya is, the largest refugee camp is in Kenya, is Camp Dadaab, and my background is anthropology. So I spent a lot of time reading and researching a story before I just start. Like, I'll have an idea for a story, but I spent a lot of time doing a lot of research. And I was really fascinated with the Dadaab camp. I mean, it's huge, it's massive. So I thought, there are so many issues in a camp. There's security issues, there's just basic food needs, and then there's education, right? And I thought it would be interesting that this girl, she comes from a family that was well-to-do in their original country, which is Somalia, and they ended up in a camp, and then they lost everything, and she grew up in the camps. So I just thought it would be interesting to try to experience her life growing up in a camp and then disconnecting from our family for so long and being on our own. And that's kind of why Kenya was the country I decided to latch on to.
What was your most memorable experience on set?
So the bedroom scene, when they're talking and she's explaining about the garden and everything, I'm standing behind monitor. And there was a moment where, as an artist, you have this visual image in your head, and you know this is the thing you want to see. And I've never experienced, as an artist, because I paint and I do other things, I've never experienced what's in my head translating exactly into the real world. So they're having this conversation, and she says these words, and all of a sudden I'm like, and everybody's like, what's this? Are you okay? Are you okay, Dad? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Like, I actually teared up behind the monitor. I had a completely full heart. It was amazing, because my crew was absolutely, everybody was in the perfect role. I didn't think about anything but story, character, and directing. And that moment was the first moment as an artist where I absolutely had like, this is what was in my head. I love everyone in the world right now. So that was it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you to New Filmmakers. Thank you for including Sweet Sweet Country. I'm just so happy that we were able to show some more people the film.
Yeah.